Somebody said I should play this one for Boots on the Ground, huh? Hey, Boots on the Ground, wherever you are. Somebody wants to dedicate this one, a new track called Boots on the Ground. Give me one time. My boots on the ground. Good morning to you, Melba. My boots on the ground. Get up by your seat, let your body move. Cowboys and cowgirls and feeling the groove. Dipping on moonshine, fire barrel rolling. I'ma get behind that thing, girl, and hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Whoa, 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 whoa. My boots on the ground. Lord, I miss them. Whoa, whoa, whoa. My boots on the ground. Please. I hope you got good knees, so we gon' get it up. Everybody's dancing to that juke joint. Hold on to your wig, hold on to your man. Cause steppers in that building, y'all, and they throwing the fast. Whoa, 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 whoa. Got my boots on the ground. Got my boots on the ground. And that was for, of course, Boots on the Ground. It's popular saying that, boots on the ground. Coming back after this.
The Diocese of Rosal is launching a Father's Day campaign. Bring the men to Mass. The Jubilee year is the perfect occasion to celebrate, honor, and uplift all men, particularly fathers and father figures in each parish in the diocese. Men of all ages are encouraged to come back to church on Sunday, June 15th, 2025. Men, fathers, your real strength is found only in God. This campaign is meant for men to attend Mass and reconnect with God, receive strength and encouragement, and lead by example during this Jubilee year of hope. The parish need the men. The diocese need the fathers. Dominica need the men to be the heart of the family. Bring the men to Mass is about reconnection, reflection, and renewed purpose. Fathers are called to be priests in the home, the domestic church to bring hope to the family and the society by extension. It's a jubilee for men, for fathers. In every parish, men will be blessed, prayed for, and be encouraged by the homily. Father's Day is among activities for the Jubilee for Men in this special year of grace. It's a spiritual campaign, and everyone is encouraged to invite their father, husband, grandfather, son, brother, uncle, male colleague, boyfriend. Just bring a man to Mass on Sunday, June 15th, 2025. Father's Day. May God bless you.
Are you tired of having the same boring breakfast every morning? Well, Monflake Oats is the healthy and perfect solution just for you. Make your breakfast exciting by adding Monflakes to your pancakes, parfait, or even milkshake. Monflake can be found in different sizes and available in granola such as Caribbean or Hawaiian. Stop worrying about what to prepare for your breakfast, dessert, snack, or even dinner. Monflake is the best addition to your meal. Grab yourself a bag today.
Locally distributed by Fine Foods Inc. and available island-wide.
Introducing the new Caribbean paints from Do It Center. Two-round paint and wall covering from Do It Best quality paint, giving you the same great interior and exterior quality, the same color matching technology at an incredible price. Available in black, satin, and semi-gloss. Visit us on Google Road or call our paint department at 255-6896. Do It Center, your partner in the home improvements.
After working hard for many years in London, Goldwyn is now retired and back living in Dominica enjoying his pension. He too shook a smile so we can see the gold teeth and too shook a yank. I met him coming out of Floss's with the help of some staff carrying different foods, drinks, and meats to his vehicle. Myself too fast to go and ask the man what's up. Is their story start? Après moi fini travail ouais, so le kadimo de San Dominic pour finir la hamwe. I said, Goldwyn, speak in English, don't force it. Then he said, I shop with intelligence, yeah? At Floss's, you get the most reasonable prices for the bag flour, rice, sugar, milk, beers, soft drinks, water, rum, and so much more. Prices and quantities to fit your needs, mate. Because you just come down and want to tell me what I know about Floss's already. That's where I shop. It's not you alone that want to save money but still get the quality goods. That's right. And if you're listening to this ad, go and check out Floss's for yourself. Next to the Rosal Market, you can't miss it.
Now opened on Sunday. Cause I'm on my way.
KFC delivery is here. Just place your order at www.kfcdominica.com, Facebook or WhatsApp at 614-2633 and your order will be delivered to you. KFC, it's good.
Cause I'm on my way.
Hassle free loans for your every need. Cards have you covered, best believe. Cards ready cash, it's for everyone. Not to worry, fast approval. Hurry up and come. We got this all, we on the go. Cards ready cash, you already know. We got this all, we on the go. Cards ready cash, always ready. When you're ready, let's go.
Courts Ready Cash. Ready when you are.
I see Goldwyn shopping for farming supplies. So I ask him, what are you doing inside Bloomberg? Do you have a farm? He tells me, Gus, out hell sort. I've been married 37 years. Look at my money farm. He said, no, not woman. Like land for farming crops. And then you understand, Bloomberg is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots, sales of potting mix, all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox. Let's bloom together.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul. I'm feeling we can hide. It's pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spot. Because nothing that sets us apart. Who we are. Get rid of all that keeps bumping. Together going strong, no matter what we keep them going. Before we move on, hands up in the sky, celebrate and come at your rhythm flow. Come let your rhythm come let your rhythm flow.
There's smooth.
And then there's Guinness Smooth.
It's a brand new cool.
Incredibly smooth.
Perfectly balanced.
For a smooth and refreshing taste.
How smooth? Well smooth. Guinness smooth.
For a smooth and refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth. Must be 18 years or older. Drink responsibly. Socialize responsibly.
Locally distributed by Belfast Estate Limited.
Set sail this summer. Compliments of Going Places Travel. Win 2 ferry tickets to your choice of St. Lucia, Guadeloupe, or Martinique. Book any flight or cruise from June 9th to July 31, and you're automatically entered. Call 448-2550 or visit our office today.
We are Going Places Travel. We're the travel experts, the Caribbean's largest travel agency.
Come into any of our offices or visit us at goingplacestravel.com.
All right, Dominica, we're here. And I love to talk about. We're going to start off with, of course, a promise. I say a promise from the leader of the United Workers' Party. He was speaking to the residents in the Rosen North constituency a few days ago. And he says it's going to cut when and if he becomes the prime minister, government expenses. He says is much too high. How can we, as a small country of, some people say 55,000, some people say 60, 65, how can we pay one man $64,000 and other expenses? He says Dominica should do something about it. And of course, 18 ministers, it depends, I imagine, on whether you're on the left side or the right side. Is it justified to, of course, have 18 government ministers? Let's hear some of the responses or the utterances there from the leader.
So no longer have to persist, when you stop the $64,000 home, so no longer have to pay $64,000 for rental. You no longer have to pay the 18 ministers and the 10 advisors. When you cut down on government waste, right there you have a lot of savings. But this will not be enough. But we'll start with that. One of the things that you will do is to cut down on government spending, what we call wasteful spending. We have given the promise to the people of Dominica that we will have a slim government. We will not have a government of 18 ministers, 18 permanent secretaries. That's a waste of time and money. The United States government has a cabinet, I think, of 12 to take care of 300 million people. In a cabinet of 18 for six, well, it used to be 60, probably 55,000 people right now. I mean, we need to get serious. So we can do a lot in terms of savings, government saving, when we cut down wasteful government spending. That's one way we fund some of those programs. But the other way, when we're talking about youth empowerment, when we're talking about environmental protection, when we're talking about livelihoods, there is enough funding for those types of activities. Okay, I know I have done it for other countries. I've been able to encourage countries to do it, to seek those avenues where if you want to do certain programs, especially if it has to do with livelihood development, if you're looking to put people to work, if you're putting to develop certain sectors that will contribute to the well-being of the country, there are specific grants and donor countries that will help you get that. So that is one way. Another way that we will do this, and it's something that I've been working on with ECLA, with the UN office in Trinidad. A few months ago, probably about a year now, they asked me to help them to do a program. And that program was to think how we can get some debt relief. Okay. Now with Dominica, because we are considered to be a middle income country, we cannot go to those who have given us loans in the past and ask them to forgive our debt. Okay. So in Dominica right now, we pay, I think every month we probably pay about $10 million just in servicing our debt. We pay a lot of money, over $100 million a year in servicing debt. That's $100 million that could be used to develop agriculture, to develop fisheries, to better equip the fishermen of Foncolé to go out there and fish, to equip the centers that will be able to buy the fish, to set up those manufacturing concerns. So there are literally hundreds of millions of dollars to be had this way. Now, how do we access this $100 million? How do we access this? So the idea was to come up with a debt for climate change swap. So it's a swap. Okay, you know, the world is concerned about rising ocean levels, hurricanes that are affecting our countries every time. So what I came up with and what I suggested to them in a paper that is being looked at right now, and is something that we can definitely pursue, is you, in exchange for spending on things that can help to strengthen our country, our resilience to climate change. So, for example, the building of river walls, sea defense things, but also a key part of resilience is to ensure that people have good homes, resilient homes. So you build resilient homes. A key part, if you're going to build good homes, you have to ensure that people have good paying jobs. So part of that resilience is to have good paying jobs. So we can show that we can use this money to invest in our agriculture, invest in agriculture goods or items that are not so susceptible to hurricanes, like bananas, for example. There are some crops you can plant that are not, you know, they don't suffer the same as bananas. So if you're able to do that, you can get debt forgiveness. There is a huge fund within the United Nations. It's called the Green Fund, the Green Climate Fund, that has monies just for that. Literally billions of dollars that has been promised by big countries for countries like ours to access. Those monies are there, but to access them, you have to be able to write the projects. You have to be able to appeal to them. So that is something that is going on that I was very happy to contribute to, but I see how that can benefit Dominica in a big way. So that's another means, another way of getting money. So let's rest assured that the plans that we have, although we have not yet put a cost to it, but we will get the resources through friendly governments, through grants, and by cutting wasteful spending. Those three methods, we will get it out.
Now, I heard the Prime Minister said last week that he's listening to the people, or you will listen to the people as it relates to the maybe reshuffling the cabinet that he now has. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. I want a genuine answer from you this morning. We've been hearing this from many sources, many persons on both sides. Do you think that the government of the island of Dominica has too many ministers? Do you think we should cut down on the cost of rent for the Prime Minister? Whether you are Labourite or not, I want your genuine answer. Let's take to the phone call. 4493095. I mean, we have almost 18 and 19 ministers for 55 to 65,000 people in Dominica. And in America, 300 million, there is a 12-member cabinet. Let's talk about waste this morning. Let's talk about waste. You don't have to be a Labourite or workers. You're somebody with common sense. And the Prime Minister said last week he's listening to the people. Let me hear your response this morning. Do you think we should cut down on the ministers? I remember Eugenia, Charles, and of course, the Workers' Party. Not too many ministers for sure. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Good morning, Matt.
Morning to you, sir. How you doing?
Not too bad. Matt, all the questions you asked, the common sense reply to them is yes, the cabinet should be reduced. Number one, you have the majority of the seats in parliament, and every one of those seats, a minister holds that position. That in itself should be unparliamentary. You cannot have all these people in the cabinet. The cabinet is so powerful, so big, that Parliament stands no chance against it. That there should be a law to prevent that. There should be a percentage installed there. Matt, the expenses of Roosevelt Skerrit are too much for our pocket. As a responsible citizen, I will never vote for any of Roosevelt Skerrit's broomsticks nor Roosevelt Skerritt, even if I lived in his constituency. And as to Skerritt claiming that he listens to the people, yes, he might listen to the people, but he ain't hearing them. He's listening, but he's not hearing. Mr. Skerritt, you got to cut it back. We cannot afford for you to be living like a king and building mansion after mansion. And you cannot take our garbage out. That is where the insult comes, you know, Matt. You're living like a king, and you cannot take the garbage of the citizens out, at least not properly. Have you seen a new garbage truck recently, Matt?
No, I saw a dump truck. I don't know. You know, some people say.
I rest my case.
You rest your case. Yeah, of course, it has been promised. I heard actually Dr. Thompson Fontaine in that same forum there speaking of why after 25 years we can't even get rubbish trucks. Let's listen to Dr. Fontaine, who said he has made an application to get rubbish trucks. But the problem is, I mean, you have to be in government to get these trucks from several donors there. Let's listen.
But the government in office for 25 years cannot pick up its rubbish. I mean, what do we do with that kind of government? It's more than shame. It is unthinkable. You're in office for 25 years and you don't know how to pick up your rubbish. Leptospirosis has taken the lives of a few individuals. I don't understand this. You know, so some time ago, with regards to the rubbish, somebody from Toronto contacted me and they says, why don't you draft a letter to some of the municipalities, the mayor of Toronto, the mayor of the province of different provinces, and they gave me all the contact, the waste management people. So I said, let me just try that, to write a letter, to write the letters. So with their help, went online, wrote the letters, got back 3 responses. Okay, well, basically we said we have a situation in Dominica. Do you have gentle use trucks, garbage trucks that we can use in Dominica, and so on. And in every instance, they told me that they would assist, but it has to come from the government. Okay, so it means that our government has not been asking. Okay, I did it just as an ordinary citizen, a concerned citizen, writing to the mayor of Toronto saying, can you give us 5 garbage trucks because we have a garbage problem in Dominica? And they says, yes, although we don't have right now, but normally we would give 2 when it has to come. The request would have to come from your government. So that's just something to the government. They can write to the municipalities in Canada to get the garbage trucks that we need, since people are willing to donate to Dominica.
It's that simple. So why don't we have rubbish or garbage trucks? Huh? Somebody says, first of all, Dominica doesn't have 65,000 people, and the Skerritt cabinet is too big. Too much poverty in the country, period. And Grand Bay is suffering as a result. I suspect that's a person there from the Grand Bay constituency speaking to that. How much attention have been given to Grand Bay in the past 25 years? Hello, talk to me, yes?
Love, life, healing, joy, gratitude, courage, and sacrifice. Mr. Pelletry, blessed day to you, sir.
Blessed day to you.
Matthew talk about to be objective and not to be partisan and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to make a very, very sober and non-partisan contribution.
Okay.
That is very interesting in the context in which you frame this question.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody could assist you, I know you're multitasking there, in finding out at least 3 metropolitan countries with millions of people and the size of the cabinet. That would help. Matt, what about 60,000 now, Matt? Maybe 50,000?
About some people say 55, some people say 60, some people say 65. Around that, yes.
How many of them, Matt? 18 and 18 Senate, how do you call them? how they call them, permanent secretaries, Matt.
Yeah,
In very, very interesting. Matt, there is a thing I use. I put these two words together, having to do with some insatiable, extravagant behavior of Roosevelt Skerritt. Matt, we saw the shirt. 400 and almost 79 something thousand, 97 something a month.
495,000 for the shirt. 495 US dollars for the shirt.
US dollars, Matt. Somebody can convert that. Just the shirt. You remember the Monfarad shirt? And we said it was a gift, Matt? It was in the thousands. Okay? Matt, it is very, very, very wicked. And insatiable is when you cannot satisfy. You know, extravagant having to do with, Matt, you're lacking restraint in spending money or using resources of the state particularly. It's not your private money, you know, Matt. The state resources at the expense of the demise of the people, Matt. The enslavement of a people. Matt, if a man is practical and a form of humanitarianism incorporated in your governance, Matt, and the brothers, you said, can say he's listening. He's hearing the people. He's not listening to the people. Skerritt have bigger fishes to fry, the Mia Motleys, the Gaston Browns, the Andrew Holness. I was about to say these criminals in the Caribbean, but I will take that back, Matt. These pirates of the Caribbean, according to Buplé. Matt, when you listen to a man like Thompson, we all know Thompson expertise, Matt. And we, Matt?
Yep.
The man worked with the IMF and the man worked with several countries in the world, at least to give the economy crutches, if not from maybe some comatose economy to having them revived, resurrected, and walk and live again. Right in Dominica, we do not need his advice because we don't like him. Matt, we are crazy. We are crazy, all of us, Matt, in our preferences and all of that. I'm just saying, Matt, that money for Skerritt rent and Skerritt have to pay all little foolish people, Matt, sorry, talking about BB rum and pink grapefruit in Parliament. You have ministers going and steal in supermarket or in drugstore, wherever, allegedly, Matt. And all kind of scandalous garbage in that country. Matt, if you talking about America that have all these millions of people, Thompson Fountain said it, and they have less than
12 cabinet men.
They have less than 18, so they have 12, Matt. Now, if you had all these ministers and permanent secretaries and all of that, and Dominica was heading to space, Matt, buoyancy is on the rise, Matt. We're floating, not sinking, Matt. I would say, well, you know, look at how good the country is doing, at least. Let the people work. We don't look into fire, no minister, because look at how everything is working, Matt, under Patrick John. I did not know Leblanc. Freedom, UWP, Matt. Matthew are old enough, I am. And all those who are old enough can recall. Matt, you remember Dominica?
I remember Dominica during these times, yes.
In its glory days, Matt. Them young people knows nothing. And Thompson, them are yelling up, talking about what UWP did. Then, that need to be rung all over the country like a bell, incorporating Thompson's contribution and his capability to bring back a sense of sanity in this country, Matt. Because, Matt, it's not a joke. Not young men are killing themselves, they're killing one another, they're disappearing. Children are prostituting, and by people in high places, they're really having a field day using the little girls, maybe boys too, as the donkeys. So I am saying, Matt, if Skerritt had a shred of love and humanity and concern, Matt, this very labor rights Alex Boyd say, if you're red, you will not die. Because if you're not red, you're better off dead. Matt, they're dying. Labor rights are suffering. They're hungry. They're broke. They're unemployed. You have NEP workers working, Matt, all nasty kind of work. And at the end of the month, Matt, how much they give them? $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt, you know how many months passing and some of them can't get no money, Matt? What leader of a country that will govern that country or a people and be that stone-hearted, animalistic, cannibalistic and quite a barbarian and watch his people suffer if it's not all these adjectives I used to describe him. If you're not that which leader that would live that kind of high life in a country? Not look at what happened in Cuba. Not, we don't know what we can say, maybe over $2 million gone there, Matt. Not that was like any big election campaign in way. You see his birthday, Matt? You see his birthday celebration as well on social media?
No, I didn't see that. I think he may have been in Antigua at the time. May have.
Well, okay. Maybe what I saw is maybe a birthday then. So maybe you don't want to imagine what he do in Antigua. But how can a man live that kind of lavish lifestyle while the people are suffering? And that's what dictators have done and is doing the world over. And you telling me you're so loyal to a political party, not to your family, not to your wife, not to your husband, not to your brother, sister, or friends, but to a political party, not even to your church. You say that's the gateway to heaven or salvation. You're following one man blindly and cannot see. He is the one who have you in poverty, abusing you, impoverishing you. Chinese working, everybody working. And that man coming and tell you how he care about you and he listening to you and he love you. And you yet to see before man tell you, somebody tell you, look, just see a man or your boyfriend somewhere talking to a woman. That is anti. The person don't know about a woman. Before he reach up, yes, I want to know. Yes, anyway, when you come up, I'll know. You will know it's me. Oh, it's woman you're running also. Oh, is that and trouble stuff in that. You hearing all what Mark Thompson, Lennox, all kind of great information coming. And then you just say, don't worry, then let's hit the head scary. According to me, I'm not the Dr. Success. Mother, have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day, blessings. Have a blessed day. Matthew, you are dealing with the people or with people that have narcissistic tendencies. The supporters are the same. They lack empathy. They have no conscience. Right is wrong and wrong is right. The truth offends them. They blame anyone and everything for their waste, incompetence, and failures, even Mother Nature. So to question the size of the cabinet and the exorbitant rent is to confront them with the truth. They will gaslight you and change the narration and blame the truth. You, your Mother Nature, the international world, even the opposition, but never themselves. They are themselves superior and others inferior. They believe in their illusion and lies to be truth. Dominica, we are in a sad place. That's the reality of the situation there on the ground. Hello, that's a WhatsApp message. Talk to me. Yes.
Matt, as I said before,
you're a lucky guy. I can tell you that. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
We have our own version of Donald Trump. It's like the previous clip or whatever you spoke about there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same story. Narcissism. And that's it, Matt. We got to get rid of the narcissist. That's all there is to it. There's no more to be said. Enough said. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. A lot of WhatsApp messages there. As I said, just be truthful with yourself. If you think it's okay, it's okay. If it's wrong, right? If you say it's okay, you have to deal with your conscience. And the answer is obviously yes. Too many ministers in rental for one man. Ask people to get out their calculators. Get out your calculator, somebody's requesting. And let us do the math. Rental of $64,000 times 12. That's 760,000 a year for 5 years. That would be what? That's a lot of money. That was 3 million.
Mouvement créole à Soukir. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio QFM qui a présenté Mouvement créole. Les mardis soirs entre 6 après-midi. Information, blague, interview, l'histoire, problème, discussion, reportage, apprendre à parler et puis écrit créole. Lien avec ton peuple créole. Bon musique créole. Mouvement créole. À nous faire un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames, tous les mardis soirs. QFM qui est frappé avec bon parole créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous rapidement Timamaïla, Mouvement créole à ce grand station QFM. Watchez avec nous tous les mardis soirs 6h pour Mouvement créole. Matchez ça.
We are back. We are back. Let's go back to the last text. I encourage you to take off your calculators there. Again, the answer is very obvious. It's yes. Too many ministers and the rental for one man. Ask the people to get out their calculators and let's do some maths this morning. Rental of the Prime Minister, 64,000 times 12. That's 760,000 per year. For 5 years, that would be 760 times 5. That's 3,800,000. 18 ministers times 8,000 is equal to 144,000 per month times 12 equal 1.7 million times 5 years equal 8.3 million. Now let that sink in, Dominica. Can you imagine what could have been done for small business, for farm access roads, for medicine at the PMH? So that's the reality there. Okay, people? I hope you did some maths there, huh? Hey, the Wasco, the people of Wharton Waven said they don't have any water since Friday, so check them out, okay?
Matt, good morning to you.
Morning.
And good morning to your listeners. I want to tell you this, Matt, and that's not hypocrisy, that's the truth, and it's with all sincerity. Matt, since I listened to you well and you make the calculation of 64 by 12, I say, man, you know a maths man. But give me a favor now, please, Matt. Divide 300 by 30 for me now, please. 300 by 30, because the elderly people are getting $300 per month. And see how much it's gonna be each for a day. I just gonna leave it for as 30, because some months are 31, some months are 30. So just leave it at 30 and make a calculation for me, please. Please, madam, tell me how much per day will the old people, the elderly people, will be getting from $200 a month.
Interesting. I know many people have the calculator as well, so they're doing the maths. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Hello, yes?
That waterways and haven't got water since Friday, man.
That's what I was told.
Waterways and haven't got water since Friday. Is that a joke, Matt? Are you making a joke with the people?
Well, no, there's somebody from Watson Wave and just text me, so they're on the ground, they know.
A quick favor, Matt. Matt, can you give us the calculation again? Dominican seems to be suffering from amnesia. I think somebody mentioned that. The amnesic barrier, all you a building like a stone wall, and nobody cannot get through all you because all you figure out, well, all you love all your PM. The gaslighting where Melis and Skerrit and all the others making all you believe. The hell all you're going through. It's not true. Or you're living like them because of your labor rights. So your reality is not true. It's what they tell you that is true. That is gaslighting. Stop convincing and fooling and deceiving yourself to think because you are labor rights. You are living the lavish and extravagant life of Melissa, Skerrit, and all the other people who have the country passport money, tax money, grant money, loan money, all kind of money they have at their disposal. And you think that is your reality? When you wake up, you cannot feed your family, but Matt, can you please run the figures by us again? Thank you.
All right, yes, I run the figures, but we have a stop there with the Ministry of Agriculture and, of course, a World Bank project. We're going to give you some new information and we'll come back to you, huh? It's now 9:04. We're going to make a stop there. Of course, that conversation will continue here. And of course, somebody's indicating to me some people paying 100 for a bedroom only, and they're blowing the red trumpet. We'll continue to give you the realities or the reality of the day. But we're here with the government representative this morning. We're talking agriculture for the next half an hour. Mr. Kevin Stevenson is the guest this morning. And he will give us a few more details as to what we're talking about, really the World Bank agricultural project. A lot of people have been complaining that they have maybe not received their tranche or what they should have gotten there from the World Bank. So Mr. Stevenson is here to explain to us just what is going on. So I haven't spoken to you in a little while. Everything okay for now?
Hi, good morning, Matt, and good morning to the general public.
Good morning.
Always a pleasure to be able to talk to you and to educate the public.
Okay, always a pleasure to have you too. So tell me, Mr. Stevenson, I mean, I know a lot of people have been complaining, they have not received this, they have not received that. But put this project, the World Bank project, in perspective for us this morning.
Okay, first of all, Matt, we had a project that was approved in 2018
28. Okay.
For the restoration of livelihoods under the Emergency Agricultural Livelihoods and Climate Resilience Project.
Okay.
At that phase, we helped over 4,000 crop farmers by giving them inputs, tools, equipment. We also helped some fishermen with over 107 engines. Right now, in the process of giving boats. So far, we have distributed 20 boats.
20.
And we intend to distribute a further 23, well, not 23, huh? In all, we're going to distribute 53 boats.
53, that's 33. Okay.
So 53 boats left to be distributed. Hopefully, we'll distribute them within the next month. Boats of varying sizes from 25 feet long to 8 feet wide, to 22 feet long to 8 feet wide, and 21 feet long, 6 feet wide, 21 feet long, 4.5 feet wide. So, based on the size of engine that you have, that's the boat that you receive. So, we have been doing those things from the original project. Fortunately, the government requested from World Bank additional funds after COVID for food security. So the government received an additional $20 million for what we call the emergency component of the project. And that was to respond to food security needs. In that additional $20 million, we were basically targeting to improve production of vegetables to reduce our imports. And by that, we targeted over 150 banana farmers, banana and plantain. Those farmers received tissue culture plants. We received over 50,000 tissue culture plants, and that was distributed successfully. That's why you see increased production of bananas and plantain right now on the market. And those farmers received inputs and tools.
So how many farmers received this?
150 farmers roughly.
Okay.
There are 153, but quite 150 farmers.
Oh, yeah, just around the top. Yes, okay.
Planting material and inputs. And again, it wasn't every farmer. You have to have a minimum acreage of 3 acres to qualify. So all farmers that had 1 acre, 2 acres did not qualify for that assistance.
Okay.
So again, you had some farmers complaining, oh, I have half acre and I didn't get help. No, it was targeting commercial farmers that were going to produce bananas for export and for the local consumption for ripeners. That's why we have bananas at the supermarkets being sold to farmers and sold to consumers.
So, but some people are complaining, as you said, that they're not received.
So in that component now, we had people applying for agro-processing, and that's where we have, again, people who promise, and maybe even blessings might be saying he was a small business and he was promised help after Hurricane Maria, and he filled out all his information, he got his business certified, etc. Unfortunately, at that time, the money that was allocated for agro-processors or agribusiness was transferred to the Casablanca Road, East Coast Road. So government had to get additional means of how do they support agro-processors. And that's what we got under the extension. We got over $2 million, well, close to $3 million to help agro-processors get equipment to upgrade their operations, to reduce the cost of production, and at the end of the day, depend less on manual labor and have more equipment for doing automated services in the system. So presently, that has been taking time. Why? Because agro-processors have a diverse need. No agro-processor needs the same thing. Every agro-processor needs different type of equipment. So to have 130 applicants, first of all, you have to have a registered business. You have to have a name. You have to prove that you are the producer. It wasn't just anybody. You have to have a full handler's permit proving that whatever you did was in requirements of safety, and it had to be agriculturally related. In other words, you couldn't be producing oil for shampoo for your hair. We were looking for agro-processing that was helping either juices, jams, cocoa sticks, things that was helping food security. So that would mean you will qualify to get up to $10,000, and you can get a maximum of $40,000.
So what happened to these persons who have applied, if you will? and they paid all their monies and received nothing. What is in plan for them?
Well, again, that's why I told you, I'm just explaining the process to you, man. Just have a little patience and we go through the process.
Okay.
So as I told you, we had a criteria to prove. That's why if you went through a registration of a business, all that wasn't in vain, because at the end of the day, if you have a business, it has to be registered, because you're not going to get help from a bank if you don't have a registered business.
Mhm.
So registering your business is not in vain, but it's in your interest as an agro processor to have your business registered,
Mhm.
to have your food handler's permit, and to ensure that you have a product that is ready for consumption. Now, those people that meet that requirement, we then had to distribute them in their annual income to determine how much you would receive. So people who receive between $12,000 to $24,000 a year, they would receive $10,000. Anybody that receives more than $25,000 a year, but less than $40,000, they would receive $20,000. And anybody that receives more than $100,000 a year, they would receive $40,000 worth of equipment. However, as I told you, we had a diverse need, so we had to break down whatever they requested. First of all, we had a form that would indicate what you want, what equipment that you want on that list. However, on that list, we had some equipment that was required that wasn't on the list. So we asked them to submit an invoice of whatever that they want that is not on the list. So that's why it took so much time, because we had to have different procurement methods. So for example, we had to employ direct selection. Direct selection is whereby you get permission from the bank to go directly to a supplier to get your goods. So far, we have 4 items that we have requested direct selection from, and we have actually received 20 stainless steel tables from Mariner Enterprises to deliver to 59 beneficiaries who have applied for stainless steel tables. Now, I don't know if you know, but stainless steel tables are very expensive. A stainless steel table costs between $3,000 to $5,000 for a simple table that dimension here. So it's very expensive. So far, we have delivery by Mariner for 20 tables, and we hope that we get the other 50 tables by the end of this month. So one of the items we have on hand to distribute to beneficiaries is stainless steel tables.
Mhm.
The other 3 items that we got direct selection for was for beekeeping equipment. We had over 29 people who applied for bee equipment, and now that is for honey extracting. It's not for hives. Although we're going to leave hives too, but it's mainly for extraction of the honey, storing of the honey. Equipment that are very expensive, that is not normally affordable by the average beekeeper. Again, we have gotten direct selection to get that equipment, and we're just about to sign the contract for that set of equipment. The other 2 direct selection was for blenders. We're now in the process of submitting the contract to the Ministry of Finance. And the other area, again, we were hoping for direct selection, and we had a request for quotes is for refrigeration. Because of those diverse needs, that's why it's taking a little time. However, for people who requested the special equipment that they alone wanted and specialized to they alone, we accepted the invoice. Again, we had to spend a lot of time with World Bank to accept that we need to pay those farmers cash, because it's something that cannot get economies of scale by importing the product.
Mhm.
So we have 25 people to receive cash, large access, for them to buy their own equipment. And again, we have to take some time to get the information from them, especially the account information, because our experience that we had from COVID was without proper account information, we had money going in wrong accounts. So we had to make sure that we get all that information. Over the past 2 weeks. We have been receiving that. And we're now in the process of having a launching of giving those 25 agro processors a cash. And hopefully within the next week or 2, we'll have a signing ceremony for those beneficiaries receiving up to $40,000 cash to buy specialized equipment that they requested. So we're making progress, not at the speed, and that's why I'm on the radio here to tell you that very soon, within the next week or two, we'll actually start to distribute products and cash for the agro processing component. The most important part of the component is over 45 pieces of equipment that we had to order from China. Again, that process took very long. We end up with 3 companies, and we're now in the process of awarding a contract of over $1.2 million to that supplier to suppliers with over 43 different types of equipment, ranging from filling machines to dehydrators to scales. Is a lot of equipment.
So those who have applied and of course were disappointed can rest assured that they will be.
Well, we have had meetings with them since we have had a meeting last month with the people who are going to receive the cash. So just 25 people, we had a meeting with them to make them know, supply the information of their accounts, etc. And we're in the process of giving them the cash to get the equipment. And that's why I came now to explain to the other set of people who are waiting for their tables, their blenders, that the process has started, and in just a matter of time, we have the contract signed to get expected time of arrival of equipment in Dominica by sometime in September, October.
For transparency purposes, there, just a question. The money that you said was transferred to the Cassabridge Road project, am I right?
Yep, the development project.
So you would have had to inform the World Bank that happened, yes?
Yep. Every transfer of money from whatever purpose it was. Again, the money for the small businesses was originally part of the development project. Okay. So we had to write a request requesting that money. Now, unfortunately, that was under the Ministry of Trade, not Agriculture. So trade is the one who had to write for that. And it took some time, and then the government reprioritized and decided that spending the money in East Coast Road was more critical at that time. Not saying that money for agro-processing was not important. That's why it was pursued, and successfully we got the money. And right now, as I told you, we're just about to spend over $3 million for agro-processors.
Now, if you have any questions for Mr. Stevenson, feel free to call in and ask the question there specifically to the World Bank project, especially those of you who may not have received, compensation there. So you can ask the question. The numbers are 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257. Again, the numbers are 449-3095, 449-3096, 97. I know, Blessings, you're one of the persons always, complain. So I'm hoping that you will be compensated this time around. The government currently making steps to correct it. Let me see if I can get to a WhatsApp. I suspect some people may be WhatsApping me some questions. Let's see if we can get to that. Let's take a phone call here. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Not did you just call my name?
I called your name. I know you've been complaining that you filled out everything, and how much money you said you spent?
Over almost $2,000. About 1,000, maybe 7,008 go by tax. Photocopy this, photocopy that, go up and down. Esther Thomas telling me they give money direct. Go, why I waste my time, man. Mr. Stevenson, blessed day to you, sir.
Blessings, my brother.
Blessing. Is that Stevenson, my friend?
Yes. Your friend, yes.
Oh, sorry, my beloved brother. But blessings to you. May the Almighty continue to repair, restore, rejuvenate, revive, and everything. Blessings to you. I'm sorry. So
Nothing
what
to be
can
sorry
I
about,
do
my brother.
to faculty? Huh?
To be sorry about it or blessings.
Yeah.
Blessings to you. Blessings to you. What can I do for me to retrieve if they don't want to give me government money, not my money, it's not the country's money. What can I do at least to get my $2,000, at least $2,000 back, or can I get what was promised to me? I have the documents there, I can present them. It was $6,666, very conveniently so. And I did not get a penny, my brother, after I lost my workshop, I lost tools, I lose math, everything. Can I be compensated or I don't know. How can I get through that program? How can I get assistance if I really deserve it?
All right. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, first of all World Bank projects operate on what they call an expression of interest. In other words, they help those who request help. So you would have to have submitted an application under the agro-processing component for assistance. And after that application was sent in, we had a team that will come to your property to look at your operation to determine that you are a genuine agro-processor. All that was done, and then we generate a list, and then from the list of equipment that you requested, the program is not about compensation for what you lost. The program is about giving you equipment that you require that will help you to operate more efficiently and get your cost of production down. So the program is about providing equipment, and as I said, in some cases, if the equipment is specialized, cash is given up to $40,000. So if you didn't apply, it's too late right now to consider the application. Although,
but I think he said he applied. Didn't you say that, Blessings?
Yeah, but I'm telling you, after Maria, there was a program, the World Bank gave a couple millions of dollars.
No, that's a different program, Blessing. That program after Maria is a program under the Ministry of Trade targeting small business. That program right now is a program for agro-processors.
That's what I'm...
He's trying to say, Mr. Stevenson, that he applied under that program. What would happen to his funds?
He applied on the previous program under the Ministry of Trade, as he said, Esther Thomas.
Right.
That's totally different from the program we have now. The program we have now is an agro-processing program. It wasn't a small business program.
So what would happen to his funds?
I can't help you on that matter. I wouldn't know nothing about that. I just know
that
that...
Is right. Without tripping your matter, let me conclude. I was about to say, the brother can't do nothing for me. He have no advice for me, because that is beyond what he is promoting or disseminating right now. But I am just saying, how can, without from you, I mean no disrespect, my friend, my brother, God bless you. How can a government be so damn abusive to natives of a country because of the political strategy?
So Blessings, let me ask you, and of course, maybe Mr. Simpson might help me. What did they tell you about the monies that you said you spent $66,000 or $6,000? What did they tell you?
Matt, I spend 1,000, almost 2,000, 1,000, 8,000, somewhere there.
Mm-hmm.
But I am saying, I call GBS, I call Kairis. Kairis say he will check us. He was not referring to me particularly. The people, I don't call in the name, people who never got money and went through the same process, register my business, give my business a name, and print that, they photocopy that, they go up and down ministry, go all kind of place. After he said, I see nothing was coming, there was a deadline. I call, Spirit say, he will check us. I heard him, somebody raise the point. There are people that are complaining about they never got assistance from the World Bank grant to assist people who lost their small businesses. And not from there, I don't like begging. I hate being on my knees. That's why I'd rather many things than being on my knees, Matt. And I just leave the spirit for the universe and for the Almighty. It's just a matter of time, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, a lady is saying, Mr. Stevenson, thank you, blessed. I hope you get compensated sometime in the future. Matt, since last year, an assessment was done, so I received a greenhouse. To date, I haven't heard anything. And that's what somebody's saying.
Okay, Matt. The other area I seem on the radio to clarify is the other components of the project.
Okay.
And it is right. Under the greenhouse component, again, we had to re-tender the bids twice. One, the first time the tenders failed, and then we had to re-tender. We're now in the process of awarding a contract to restore over 50 greenhouses, provide plastic and all necessary materials for the greenhouse to come back to 100%. And we are going to give 15 new greenhouses. So, ma'am, your application is just a matter of time. We issue the contract, and we have all the materials in Dominica for restoring your greenhouse, and those that qualify for a new greenhouse will also receive new greenhouses. We're also ordering in that process 2 hydroponic systems that the government can use for promoting hydroponics among youth, and that is something that is an initiative of the Ministry of Agriculture, and we're hoping that that will innovate the technology in Dominica for improving our yield and having available some of the vegetables that we cannot grow ordinarily in soil.
So you're saying in the next 2 weeks, a lot of people will be compensated. Next 2 weeks.
In the next 2 weeks, we're going to start with the agro processors. In the next 2 weeks, we're hoping that an award of contract will be given for the greenhouses and hydroponics. Again, after the contract is awarded, it's going to take at least 30 to 90 days for delivery of the equipment in Dominica. So for greenhouses and hydroponics, in the next 2 weeks, we're hoping that the contracts will be awarded. Another area, and we maybe would have heard that a couple weeks ago, we had signing for irrigation. We have over $1 million for supplying irrigation equipment to farmers. We have, after the field assessment, we have approved over 77 farmers to receive irrigation equipment, namely tanks, lines from 4-inch, 2-inch, and 1-inch main lines, and pumps to bring the water on the farm. Again, we have received the tanks in Dominica, and very soon we'll have farmers come and sign the beneficiary agreements to receive those tanks, and hopefully we'll have the pipes and the pumps in Dominica within the next 50 days.
All right. Any more questions? Feel free to call. Let's take another phone call. We're here with Mr. Stevenson this morning. Hello, talk to me. Yes? Yes. Hello? Yes, hello.
Good morning. I tune in late. One of my daughter applied for the food processing assistant. Because of us tuning late, I would like to ask how long from now would they receive the equipment?
As I said, depends on what she applies for. We already have the stainless steel tables, so if she applies for stainless steel tables, hopefully we'll have the agreement signed so she can receive the tables within 2 weeks. If she applies for some specialized equipment, again, hopefully we'll have the signing ceremony within the next 2 weeks for farmers or agro processors who requested specialized equipment to receive the cash component. So it depends on what she applied for. Some things will be ready, everything won't be ready at the same time. Because of the diverse nature of the request that was being made, we have different things being delivered at different times.
So yes, 9:36 is in the morning time. I'm hoping that Mr. Stevenson have anything else to clarify, so we'll do it at this stage. Of course, we can update our farmers out there what is available to them through government and this World Bank project. Mr. Stevenson?
Okay, again, apart from direct beneficiaries, we have a number of fisher folks again who have been expecting certain things. For example, the fishermen of Santover have been patiently awaiting restoration of the slipway. Again, the contract has been signed, and we're hoping that work can commence from next week to restore the slipway in Santover. Again, we're hoping to build a brand new slipway in Scott's Head, and we're also hoping to restore the slipway and improve the slipway in Stowe. So these are interventions that are being done on behalf of fisher folks that hopefully work will commence within the next week or two. With regard to our feed mill, again, we have a contract signed for restoring the Longhouse facility, for turning it from a warehouse into a feed mixing plant, and we're hoping that the work can start next week on that facility so that we can have a venue for hosting a feed mixing equipment that will help tremendously cut down the cost of feed for livestock and poultry farmers in Dominica.
And let me just, somebody's sharing a observation here. I am listening to Mr. Stevenson. I would like to make these observations. One farmer has 4 acres and applying for equipment to do their own processing is not the best way to develop agro-processing. What if 100 farmers with 4 acres form a corporation and focus on raw material production? Now they have 400 acres together. And these farmers could now have a manufacturing center with all the equipment to process raw material, example cocoa, that gives the scale savings on equipment and materials flow. That way you can have scientists and engineers working in a production plant. We had DCP and DBMC as examples of of how this works. Ordering 100 equipment for 100 different farmers is inefficient, costly, and not the best way of developing a serious agro-processing industry. 100 farmers, 4 acres each. Any comments there?
Yeah, a lot of comments. First of all, that person is a theoretician. That person is a practical person. He's talking about what plan to do. I'm talking about helping existing people that have their agro-processing, have their livelihoods now, and they need equipment to improve. What he's talking about is a vision or a mission or a plan that has to be, first of all, you have to have a group of people willing to work together. Second of all, you have to have them agreeing to provide materials for that agro-processing, because generally...
So his view is not practical?
It's practical, but it's not something that can be done now. It has to be done with planning and looking at the whole chain and put everything in place for it to happen. You can't just get up overnight and you want to have 100 farmers work together. No, DCP didn't come up overnight. DBMC didn't come up overnight. DBMC came up after years of, first of all, having DBCA. Again, you're talking to the wrong person. I managed DBMC for over 15 years. So I know the model of DBMC. And again, why DBMC failed is a matter of individual farmers not being competitive enough so that we have a competitive product. So at the end of the day, you have to have individuals that are operating efficiently before you bring them together in one company. So having one company is nice theoretically. But on the ground right now, you have over people selling their juice, selling their cocoa, have livelihood, and you want to improve their system, you want to improve the cost of production, the product to the consumer by having a cheaper product. Don't you want cheaper cocoa, sir? Don't you want cheaper juice right now? Rather than trying to plan and get people together, first of all, you have to identify a site to have a factory that will host everybody. So let's assume we have existing sites in Dominica not being used properly. You then have to have the people organized. And then from the history of cooperatives in Dominica, it is very unsuccessful to have cooperatives in Dominica. It is best we have a private company where individuals come together and operate as one rather than cooperative. Because in Dominica, the history of cooperative success is very, very low.
So he responds and says, we have to have a vision. We cannot do things with narrow overnight skins. But let's take a phone call. Are you there?
Yes, sure, a vision. But after you have a vision, you have to have a plan.
Yep.
And after you have a plan, you have to have a project for funding the vision.
Hello, yes? Sorry.
Hello.
Yes, how you doing?
Good morning, Matt, and how are you?
Morning. Mhm.
Morning, Mr. Stevenson.
Hi, good
Mr.
morning.
Stevenson, great job. Matt, I hope you record everything he said.
We record everything.
Yes, okay. Mr. Stevenson, I call him from Salisbury, and I don't think Salisbury is on all your map. So I just want to let you know that Salisbury has a number of farmers and fishermen. So when you're picking up your list...
Hold on. Let me hear what you say.
So recently we just launched an irrigation project over $800,000 to restore the rock farmers' water system in Salisbury. Also, we have a number of people who applied for agro-processing from Salisbury. So to say Salisbury is not on the project is not an accurate thing to say. And we also have farmers, from the 77 farmers who are benefiting from irrigation, I can recall it has over 15 farmers from Salisbury that are going to benefit from the specific irrigation project. So there are a number of initiatives under that initiative where Salisbury farmers directly benefit from that intervention.
So Salisbury, you on that list, okay? Are you still there? I don't think you are. You want to say something?
Yeah, and in addition to the irrigation, we have a number of farmers from Salisbury that their greenhouse is going to be restored with the provision of plastic. For matter of fact, we had a meeting in Salisbury a couple months ago, and that's why again I came on the radio now to reassure them all what we spoke about in the meeting is still being pursued in terms of the irrigation, the tanks, and the greenhouses. It's just a matter of time for it to be in Dominica for us to give to you directly.
On the telephone, we're going to be wrapping up in a while there, but let's take a phone call. Are you there? Yes?
Good morning.
Morning.
I just want to say a few words.
Okay.
Mr. Stevenson, you're explaining what you're explaining very well. Every person can understand clearly. And I want to thank you especially. I also thank the government for the
Noise in the background, sir. I'm not saying you clearly.
Basically saying that he wants to thank you in a special way because he understands very clearly. All right, thank you. Yes, that's what he said. He understands you very, very clearly.
Well, that's why I came on the radio to explain to the general public and to people who have applied why certain things have been delayed and the process is ongoing.
Yes, sir. Are you there? Hello.
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah. All right. Ask your question.
I want to ask Mr. Stevenson under the World Bank, the gates for the pig.
The what?
The gates for the pig farmers. The gates. They promised to make the gates for the pig farmers.
Okay.
We got the pig pen ready, and there is no doors yet, not even a call. So I want to know what you know about that under the World Bank project.
Mr. Stevenson?
Okay, so
Yeah, thank you.
I'd like to apologize on behalf of the unit. The doors are ready. So if somebody didn't call you, maybe they called you at the time and they didn't get you. but the doors are ready for the pig pen. So you can call the office or call Miss Natasha Jones, and she will arrange for delivery of the doors for your pig pen too. But the doors are ready.
All right, sir. So your doors are ready. Let's take another phone call. Yes, talk to me.
Hey, Matt, good morning. How you doing?
I'm here. Go ahead.
Right. This is Bernard Moore from Masak.
Okay.
And this guy, I don't know him, and I don't think I want to know him because he's preaching the same thing with his father. His father that is a liar. You understand what I'm saying?
Who is his father? Who is his father?
I'm scared like anything else.
Scary is not the man's father, so why would you say that?
No, it's all right, Smart. Let's leave it alone.
But I'm just telling you, when you're saying something else untrue, so I'm trying to clarify. Scary is not the man's father, okay? So make your point.
We heard so many things from it, sir. That he going to get a boat, he going to get this, he going to get that, he going to get that, and none of them has materialized. And all what Mr. talking about the greenhouse.
Hello. Yes.
But 20 fishermen received boats up to last week.
And you have 33 more to come, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I know a famous fisherman from Newtown that received his boat and is fishing all now. So what are you talking about, sir?
Matt?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, have a blessed day, my brother. I just want
I have a blessed, but I'm just saying that you Scary is not the man's father, and of course, a lot of fishermen have received boats, okay? So you'll be sometimes careful about the statements that you made, all right? I'm just trying to clarify something there. 449, 20 boats have been given, 33 more is to come, right, Mr. Stevenson?
Yep.
All right, so.
Yep. And all who have received their boats are very satisfied with the quality of the boat and the resilient nature of the boat.
All right.
They are basically unsinkable.
Thank you very much. Hello, yes?
Yeah, good morning, Max. I would like to ask Mr. Spencer a question.
Sure.
Yes. Quite good.
All right.
I applied for the greenhouse and they tell me I was too late. Can I now apply?
Call the officer, I can see, but yes, it's too late because we have to order based on what people applied for. So, for example, if we have 50 people applied for plastic, let's say each of them want a roll, and I place an order for 50 rolls, it's very difficult now unless somebody drop out to give you what we ordered. So,
there's a possibility that you
there's a possibility. So that's why you call me. You might have some people that dropped out, or you might have some extra material. So call me, and then we can see how we can fill out the application form.
I'll meet you in Casablanca. I'll stop.
Well, my number is 275-1956.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, Dominica, we're here. We just have a few moments before we wrap up here. This morning, Mr. Stevenson, on the radio program this morning, explained the World Bank project. A lot of complaints. So he's here to qualify or explain what's going on. Let's see if we can take a voice note now. Yes.
Matt.
Talk to me.
I have a little problem.
Yes.
With the boat affair.
Okay.
I believe a better job, an in-depth job as per the investigations of the persons receiving the boats.
Okay.
Some of those boats have ended up on the coast guard base, whereas genuine fishermen needed those boats. I can prove it.
All right. So this caller's point is that the boats that have been given out to some people have been used for the wrong reasons.
Again, that's why we have a beneficiary agreement whereby whoever is receiving the boat has signed an agreement saying that the sole purpose of the boat is for fishing. We have already gotten engines that we gave out to genuine fishermen, and we had to the engines were retained because each engine has a World Bank logo on it, so we know our engines. And we had to retain some engines. The same thing with boats. If we find out we're not with the fisheries division, any boat that's not being used for fishing, that boat can be confiscated or paid back based on the agreement that was signed with the beneficiary.
So that person will be punished.
Yep, according to the agreement.
All right, hello, talk to me, yes? 449-3095, 96 and 97. Hello, talk to me, yes? So Mr. Stevenson is basically saying if you use the boats for the wrong reasons, that boat will be confiscated. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Matt, good morning.
Morning to you.
But an investigation needs to also go to the farmers that are getting the greenhouses and those are getting the fertilizers for the World Bank.
because it's one set of people that getting over and over while there is another set that working forever. Especially the greenhouses, one set of people that get in the greenhouses from the farmer in the World Bank project, and one set of people get all the fertilizer while there are other farmers that waiting for.
Are you saying that the program has become politicized? That's your point?
It is, man. It is, and I can prove it. I have evidence, and I just don't call people names, but it is political right now. The problem is I am not blaming the gentleman who on the radio right now.
Okay.
But I'm telling you that this program needs to investigate. It is political right now.
Or maybe partisan is the word you want to use. Yes, sir. Mr. Can you defend that?
Again, sir, anybody to receive help from the project has to express interest. So it's not about a project comes in and everybody gets fertilizer. If you didn't apply under the program and wasn't approved, at the end of the day, the approval process takes place by extension, not the PIO. So if somebody has been approved for receiving fertilizer and the person is not a farmer, you have means of verification. We have gotten cases whereby some farmers have left. They were farmers at the time of application and they have left, or they're no longer into farming. So we transfer those items to other farmers. But it's not a program of fertilizer being distributed to everybody. You first of all have to apply, you have to be verified, and on verification, it's approved, and then you receive the fertilizer or whatever you apply for.
Of course, some people are making some serious accusations there. Like I'm reading one message from Facebook. The person says Ministry of Agriculture is a failed entity. Can you imagine that some government officials taking all the plans for themselves and competing with poor and struggling farmers on the island? How do you defend that?
Again, yes, the project is under the Ministry of Agriculture, but the program, the only plant the program distributes is banana plants.
Okay.
And we had to have a detailed list of banana farmers. As I said, they have to have a minimum acreage. And I know personally, all the farmers who receive plants, and all the farmers who receive plants are farmers with more than 2 acres of bananas. So I'm not aware of any farmer getting banana plants that are not banana farmers. We had some extra plants whereby some other people that were not active farmers got 1 to 10 plants, just a matter of having a new variety on their farm. But generally, over the 45,000 plants were targeted to banana farmers who met the criteria of having a minimum acreage and being active banana farmers.
All right, somebody say not directed to Mr. Stevenson, but I agree that there is a political operative inside that program there that may be distributing products or produced to non-farmers.
Well, as I said again, there's always room for improvement.
Right.
In every system, there's going to be a loophole in the system. So I'm not going to sit down here because we do not have staff monitoring everything. So yes, they might have some cases whereby a farmer may have received assistance that did not qualify. I cannot vouch for that unless I know the name of the person and we're going to investigate on the field with the Ministry of Agriculture to find out if the person is a bona fide farmer or not. But generally...
Or you would like some information about that. If you have information, share it with Mr. Stevenson, okay? 449. And that's genuine. If you have that information, share with Mr. Stevenson there and the World Bank project. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes? I'm going to give you a few moments, yes?
Question.
Yes.
Not to the guy. I'm asking you the question. When he give all those boats, do we have a refrigerating boat to take the fishes across that fish, all that catch, and sell it outside of Dominica?
Very, very good question.
And that's why, in addition to the engines and the boats, we also made intervention in 9 landing sites. These are landing sites whereby we improve the toilets, the locker rooms. In some cases, we're going to improve the slipways, so that at the end of the day, one, the boats that we build, they have improved storage for ice. all of them have ice compartment that is much bigger than the standard boat. So even the boats that we build, there is more ones for ice, and the landing sites that we are restoring, we are hoping that each of the landing sites, they will have facilities for providing ice to farmers. So yes, we're looking at the whole chain, and hopefully, as the farmers talk about agro-processing, we're hoping that each community can have a cooperative and organize themselves for exporting fish. I know Bios, Dubra, they were talking to some consumers in Guadeloupe. So I'm hoping that through those cooperatives, they can get to sell or export fish. But from the intervention that we're doing, improving the landing sites, improving the boats and the engines, that we can have more fish and eventually export fish out of Dominica.
Hello, caller, are you there? Yes, quickly. Yes, go ahead, caller. Oh, you missed all you want the radio and you escaped. Hello, yes?
Yeah, Matt, just quickly, Mr. Stevenson, blessings again. That's not for you. Matt, I mean not to, ask the brother too many questions, but I dare listening to him. Mr. Stevenson, just quick answer. Were these, this whole project were highlighted via DBS and Kyrie?
Well, since I came back from my operation, I've had limited time on the radio. So from my point of view, over the past 2 years, I've not been doing the level of promotion that has been done because of the limitations in my voice. But we have always tried to publicize the project on all radio stations, Kyrie, QFM, because at the end of the day, we're serving the general public and not any political party. So that's why I am on QFM right now to talk to farmers that don't listen to DBS or don't listen to Kyrie, and they only listen to QFM. So my job is to talk to everybody to inform them of what's expected from the project.
But you're doing much better in terms of your voice. You've gotten
Well, yeah, I've improved tremendously, Mark, from not being able to talk to talking. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. We're happy to hear that.
All blessings.
All blessings. All blessings. Blessings to you, sir. All right. So let's take a few more phone calls, and we will wrap it up in about 6 minutes' time. So if you have any other question, feel free to do so. 449-3095. You heard Mr. Of course, Stevenson saying that he had some people were a little concerned about that. His voice is almost back to normal there, and we're happy for that blessing there this morning. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Matt, I was the underline saying, Matt. What I am saying, Matt,
yes,
the whole program, it is, you cannot apply again. The whole thing is closed. And I am saying, when it was open, was it highlighted? And I'm not blaming you, my brother, accusing you on Q or on Kyrie, on DBS or on Kyrie. And now it is closed, it is on Q. I am saying the way the dirty political machination continue in that country. What if somebody's now they're hearing it? Why was it not promoted prior to the whole thing shut down?
Okay.
Now you cannot apply again because guess what? The program is already closed.
Blessings. One, we went on a national-wide sensitization. In every region, in 7 regions, we had meetings in Casabus, we had meetings in Salisbury, we had meetings in Granby to sensitize people on the program. Again, if although the program is closed, based on a specific case, we can, based on what you might need, we can still look at how we can help you. So if you can call me, 275-1956, I will
let me get the number again. 275-1956. 1956 blessings. So call Mr. Stevenson and he'll try to assist you. That's okay. I hope you have the number. 275-1956. 1956. Okay. All right, blessings. So maybe he can give you a little assistance there. All right, and lead you in the right direction. We have 4 more minutes before we wrap it up. Let's take another phone call. Yes, let's try this one.
The boats, he didn't answer the question somebody asked. The boats having coolers to have ice to preserve the fish.
Right.
Yes.
And the landing sites.
That has been in existence for a long time. Even some fishermen that haven't got it, they put it on their own. The main question is, with that, what amount was they going to give out? Dominicans cannot consume all that fish. Sometimes when fish is in the peak season, somebody come in and buy just 1-2 pounds of fish. Sometimes you go out today, right? The amount of fish you catch and the fish biting. You cannot go tomorrow, you know, because you and 15 other fishermen have how many coolers of fish there to sell. And some of the community is small. Is there something being done to export, like Dexia, to buy the fish and export it out of Dominica? St. Thomas needs fish. St. Martin needs fish. Totola needs fish. Man, just get market outside of Dominica. Is there something being done to get a market outside of Dominica to send the fish to sell out there? That is the main question.
Okay, sure. Your main question. One, government provides the environment for promoting export. So as I explained, improving the facilities for storage at the landing sites is what government can do. In terms of marketing is a private sector initiative. That's where people come together. You first of all do your market research. So, for example, you say total all about niche fish. You need to know how much fish they need, what type of fish they need, and how often they need the fish. That's not a government function. That's a private sector function.
But don't you think government can facilitate and provide the right environment?
Yeah,
for that to happen?
and the right environment is by providing the facilities to facilitate the storage and provision of ice and maybe storage of fish to facilitate export by improving the storage facility at the landing site. So whereby, for example, you're a cooperative from Bios, you now have storage facility at Bios to store the fish to export. So Haiti government help you by improving your infrastructure, but you have to come together as fishermen to organize the volume of food. And Matt, as you see that I smile because I spoke to your father when we used to have the bar long time.
Right.
I want you to supply bone barrow. And your father told me, yeah man, check him. When I checked your father Saturday morning, he told me first the joke I was making. You know.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, these are initiatives that we have to do as private people and the government. So there are so much government can do, but at the end of the day, to make it happen, it's about forming a company. If you have an existing cooperative, like in the case of Bios or Dubra or even Portsmouth, you form yourself and you organize to supply the market using the infrastructure that government has provided. We have a case of in Portsmouth. We have a facility. We have a guy wanting to buy tuna to export to Canada. And it's a matter of the fishermen coming together to supply him. And that's not a government intervention, that's a private sector intervention. The government can only do so much. But at the end of the day, to use that infrastructure wisely, we have to have business entities that operate in the interest of the community, the fisher folks, and at the end of the day, profit making and not politics.
And this is how we're going to wrap it up. Any final comments before you go? Because we, of course, have exhausted 1 hour. Any final comments? I'm sure you'll be back sometime to educate.
Well, my final comment is that, again, living on where I left off, there are some things government can do, and there are some things we need to do as private sector. And one of the things that we have failed to do is by private sector taking opportunities and turning them into goals. And very often, when we talk about marketing, these are initiatives that are done by the private sector. Every time government gets involved in marketing, not only in Dominica, in the Caribbean, is normally not as successful as a private sector. Why? Because if government buys everything without standards, they're going to be losing money. So that's why you need to have a private sector that buys based on profits, based on standards. So you're not just be buying all the fish, you put certain systems in place to make sure that the fish that you get, you can make profit on it and not just buying all the fish. That's why GBMC had to move from being more statutory into more private. That's when GBMC came about, because before GBMC it was DBGA, which was more government, and GBMC had it more private sector. And even DPPL, the last organization that was formed, Unfortunately, it failed simply because we didn't have the right management in place to encourage farmers for supplying them, in addition to external factors of the market having more competitive goods being supplied. So, yes, government can only do so much, but let's make an appeal to the private sector. Let's come together in communities, be cashable, stand over, and form entities that can take advantage of the opportunities that are being created by the infrastructure that is being built by government.
Mr. Kevin Stevenson, thank you. Thank you so much. I hope to see you around soon. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Always my pleasure.
All right, good.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul. I'm feeling we can hide. It's pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in our we talk. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, the rhythm of life is bumping. Together going strong, no matter what we keep them going. Before we move on, it's up in the sky. Celebrate and come at your rhythm flow, 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 flow. Come let your rhythm flow. Come let your rhythm flow.
Auto Trade introduces our newest line of lubricants, Valvoline, America's first branded motor oil. Valvoline has been formulating and improving motor oil longer than any other brand. From the world's first racing oil to the world's first synthetic blend, Valvoline has been trusted in engines around the world for over 150 years. Make the switch today. Choose Valvoline, the original motor oil. At Auto Trade, we only recommend the best in quality because at Auto Trade, it's more than a vehicle. It's a relationship. Valvoline Lubricants, now distributed by Auto Trade.
But if they could, they would say something like this. I like Linus Plateau. I wanted to tell my daughter, my family brought me to Linus after I died. And the way Linus took care of my body with respect and dignity, Linus Funeral Home, 30 years of experience, professional, reliable and compassionate service. We've had 24-hour emergency service. So long, Pakite Anye Basu Dio, PA 449-1800, 275-7564, 449-2100, or the emergency number 277-1800. That time is for you to breathe and grieve. Linus is not willing that any should die, but Bobot, Zandra, you must go. So when you go to the best chaperone. Linus Funeral Home. Mama Tutu Famdi, Sisefan Limus, Igavini Hale.
Our numbers are 449-1800, 449-2100, 275-7564, and 276-0400. Call Lyndhurst.
Ooh, oh, oh, KFC. Ooh, oh, KFC. Looking for some place to go. Meals for soul. The origin KFC. Grab your family and your friends. Join in the experience. KFC. It's the place to be. Made for you and me. KFC. KFC. It's finger licking good.
Shop with confidence at Court. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Court. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
That's this, when you stop the $64,000 home, So you no longer have to pay $64,000 for rental. You no longer have to pay the 18 ministers and the 10 advisors. When you cut down on government waste, right there you have a lot of savings. But this will not be enough. But we'll start with that. One of the things that you will do is to cut down on government spending, what we call wasteful spending. We have given the promise to the people of Dominica that we will have a slim government. We will not have a government of 18 ministers, 18 permanent secretaries. That's a waste of time and money. The United States government has a cabinet, I think, of 12 to take care of 300 million people. In a cabinet of 18 for six, well, it used to be 60, but with 55,000 people right now. I mean, we need to get serious. So we can do a lot in terms of savings, government saving, when we cut down wasteful government spending. That's one way we fund some of those programs. But the other way, when we're talking about youth empowerment, when we're talking about environmental protection, when we're talking about livelihoods, there is enough funding for those types of activities. Okay, I know the government in office for 25 years cannot pick up its rubbish. I mean, what do we do with that kind of government? It's more than shame. It is unthinkable. You're in office for 25 years and you don't know how to pick up your rubbish. Leptospirosis has taken the lives of a few individuals. I don't understand this. You know, so some time ago, with regards to the rubbish, somebody from Toronto contacted me and they says, why don't you draft a letter to some of the municipalities, the mayor of Toronto, the mayor of the province of different provinces, and they gave me all the contact, the waste management people. So I said, let me just try that, to write a letter, to write the letters. So with their help, went online, wrote the letters, got back 3 responses. Okay, basically we said we have a situation in Dominica. Do you have gentle use trucks, garbage trucks that they can use in Dominica, and so on. And in every instance, they told me that they would assist, but it has to come from the government. Okay, so it means that our government has not been asking. Okay, I did it just as an ordinary citizen, a concerned citizen, writing to the mayor of Toronto saying, can you give us 5 garbage trucks because we have a garbage problem in Dominica? And he says, yes, although we don't have right now, but normally we would give 2 when it has to come, the request would have to come from your government. So that's just something to the government. They can write to the municipalities in Canada to get the garbage trucks that we need, since people are willing to donate to Dominica.
We still have some reaction there, asking the same question. Is our government too expensive? I heard the Prime Minister saying he's going to listen to the people. Do we need 12 ministers of government instead of 18? We have to cut costs. And you know, there are always also advisors being paid outside of that. Let's listen to a few voice notes at this time. Yeah.
Become increasingly tribal.
What's that?
Matt, good morning to you. Good morning to you.
Morning.
Matt, the issue we have in Dominica, we have become increasingly tribal. There is serious tribalism going on in our country right now. And people talk about red or blue or green with no knowledge or information as to what is the philosophy of their individual parties.
So they say they are labor right or the UWPI, the freedom right, and they have no clue what they really stand for. What do you stand for? What are the values you espouse as a party that you rallying on? And to some of our voting public, it seems like all you have to do is to wave a blue flag or a red flag to evoke emotion and discussion. Not whether you have large government, whether you're conservative, whether you believe in free speech, whether you believe in a democratic society, but really just blue and red. We have been conditioned to see red or see blue, and it evokes some kind of stupor in our population. When I heard Dr. Thompson Fountain speak about the $100 million used to service debt and 18 ministers in government and 18 permanent secretaries, a total waste of time, Matt Peltier. Because what they have done in the last 10, 15, 20 years is to come and say, if not CBI, then what? When the people of Dominica voted them to come with creative, innovative ideas to build the country, build wealth for the citizens, and they just come and get a paycheck and have no real input. And any civil servant, any person who puts themselves up for service of country and brings nothing to the table except to get a paycheck is no different from a thief, because they're really getting paid for doing nothing. And today we have ministers in government, they just sit there getting paid to say yes, 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 to rubber stamp everything the buffoon, the fool brings in parliament. That's all it is. Nobody with any critical thinking, critical analysis. And if you cannot think critically, then how are you going to solve complex problems? You can't. And it's evident by the fact that we cannot even manage the disposal of the logistics of the disposal of garbage. We cannot manage our hospital. We have to hire somebody to do electoral reform for us. We have more lawyers and doctors per capita in Dominica, and yet still our medical system and our legal system is the worst. So, Matt Paltier, that is the reality we face in Dominica. And for a government that insists on having a college graduate in every household, there's a total disrespect for people who have professionalism and experience and have studied in their field, not just in school, but practical and applied knowledge. And Matt Peltier, lastly, any society that is dependent on a government as the main source of revenue and jobs and income is bound to fail. And the only reason that the Prime Minister is holding civil servants hostage is because the private sector is suffering by all statistics. DAIC said it. And if you really want to build a country, if you really want to grow your social security and your social network, then you need private investment and private enterprise. Matt Peltier, do you realize that the people who are getting free houses, the people who are getting apartments, the people who are getting scholarships are already benefiting from a social safety network? So they are basically benefiting from a form of social security, because social security is supposed to be there when you get old and you can't work anymore. True. You have something to take care of you. And productive citizens, young, strapped men and women that are supposed to be productive, are already getting social welfare from the state. What do you think is going to happen to them when they reach retirement? Matt Peltier, we're going to have a lot more people that are dependent on the government because they have not been productive in their young years. And there lies our problem.
Let's listen to another voice note there. I haven't heard that voice in a while. Mr. Robinson, good morning. Are you there?
And his talk was a semblance of the kind of approach that should be taken. In other words, I had a problem with one thing, this question of aid, dependence on aid. I have a very serious problem with that. I can understand using aid in an effort to probably enhance your ability to develop capacity, because this is what we're lacking at the moment, among other things. But saying that you're literally depending on aid to get anywhere, I can understand that if you go in as a new government, you don't know what the finances are at the moment. You will need a tremendous amount of funding to reinvigorate the economy on a whole. I think you start with the reduction in spending, reducing the size of government. That is very important. I think that is important. That's a key thing. But people have to understand the context in which you're calling for a reduction in the size of government, which I cannot understand why we have 18 cabinet members, 18 cabinet secretaries for a population of, let us give them the benefit of the doubt and say 65,000 people. The United States has a population of 350 million. Cabinet size is 14. We have 50,000, 60,000 people, and we have all these ministers. That is one thing we have to take care of. Nowhere in the world, no private company is going to give you rental allowance of what? 5 times your monthly salary? The most you get is 1/3 of your monthly salary. 64,000. It's about 4 or 5 times plus the 10,000 claim for electricity. So we have a serious mismanagement of state resources, abuse of the state resources at time of campaign, total disrespect for the people. We have massive unemployment, no trading. We produce absolutely nothing to trade with partners. So we are in dire economic straits. Young people are leaving the country. We have an aging population. Without a young population to take care of that aging population, our health services are a disaster. Instead of these young folks weeding grass by the side of the road, why don't we reinstitute the nurses training school? Because obviously the college, who is now supposedly providing that, don't seem to be doing a good job. So we reinstitute the nursing school that was there before, that produced some of the greatest health professionals in the nursing industry that you could find. Why they move this thing to the thing? We need to reinstate the public works department. It was our first responders. They did wonderful work in buildings, roads, bridges, and this sort of stuff. We need to get back to basics. Agriculture is the base of our economic growth. We need to focus on agri-products, processing. It is time we go back to feeding ourselves instead of eating the junk that makes us sick. That is going to take a good few hundreds of millions of dollars. And so we must start this campaign by saying that is what we are going to do. I like the idea of starting with reducing the size of government. That would be step one. And I would also like you to include in the discussion constitutional reform, a constitution that reflects Dominica, that will hold government officials accountable, politicians, cabinet members, whoever it is, to be held accountable. So we can focus on two prongs at the same time, rebuilding our country and our economy, at the same time develop a constitution that reflects Dominica is a republic, not the kind of democracy that I hear people keep talking about. Good morning.
A smaller government in our small country will lower costs, improve efficiency, lower the level of interference concerning individual rights and freedoms, provide a faster response to emergencies. With a smaller government, I would recommend the coupling of robust oversight to manage potential gaps that may arise. Of course, some of the suggestions being made at this time, definitely most of the text messages that I'm getting this morning agrees that there's definite too much government. Yes?
Good morning. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Matt, the
Yeah.
sad thing about it is I do not see anything wrong with the $64,000 plus expenses. So it's 64,000 plus expenses, plus gas, plus the 18 ministers, plus the raise. Don't forget the raise that they received. They're not seeing a problem with it. They really don't see a problem with it. But the sad thing about it is that all of them that's supporting this nonsense, let's focus on the $64,000 rent they paying for. The crazy thing about it, most of them that's supporting Skerrit and his nonsense, their children cannot even, most of them children don't even have their own bedroom. Their children have to be sharing a room. Maybe some of them even sleeping on the floor still or sharing a bed. But guess what? Skerrit children living in lavish. They have their own bedrooms. I don't want to see the size of the bedrooms and what is in the bedrooms. Most of their children don't even have toys to play with. But yet still is supported. Labor, I love my PM. It's just utterly ridiculous. You know, and that's the reality of the people on the ground. That's the real, not just on the ground, not even those that overseas. Some of them are living in basements, you know. Don't even see the light of day unless they come outside. They don't even know what time it is. But they still supporting Skerrit and his nonsense. You know, that is a sad thing of it. I do not understand why is it that a people have to pay a prime minister housing. Why he cannot build his own? Why he cannot live in his own house? I do not understand that. I really don't. You know, the next government that come in, they need to put in a law that you live in your own house. You getting a salary, take a loan, build a house if you don't have one. I really don't understand that. But yeah, I totally agree with the fact that the cabinet needs to be smaller. I totally agree with when the next government come in, they need to they need a total overhaul of the whole system. They really do. That is just way too much. 18 for what? And they do nothing. That is a sad thing about it. Anyway, thank you, Mark.
Thank you for your contribution as always. Now we'll start taking your phone calls. Or more phone calls. Hello, yes.
Yeah, Matt, blessings. Just me again. Let me deal with a few things and get off the line. Matt, let me just shout out Mr. V. Robinson. Matt, a few times I say, and I have to extend my greetings to him. And, you know, I just like Marlin Daytush, boom, I have so many people to greet. And sometimes some of them slip off, below my radar. Matt, trust me, if the Canadians are willing to send us trucks, because Thompson initiated it, Matt, the trucks will remain in Canada. Or you do not understand the psychology of creating a false sense of scarcity. They do not understand the psychology of creating a false sense of scarcity. Man, that just came out, man. That's something I have to go and figure out. I just saying I have to commend up for negotiating and whatever. But Matt, what that is relevant and effective is to create a false sense of scarcity. We haven't got. Remember years ago, Scary used to talk about, we have no natural resources, Matt. Scary understands what is natural resources, but he's feeding on the ignorance of his obsessive followers. Not the Dr. Fountain, just quickly, I shift away from that. The Dr. Thompson Fountain gave you the figures you played a while ago after he spoke about the wastage and all of it and the ministers and contrast and compare with America. When you gave the breakdown a while ago, was it?
A former government official. That's all I can tell you. A former government official.
No, you don't have to tell me who I was. Just if it was Dr. Fountain, I know I would be asking and you would have told me.
Yeah.
Matt, and that is where I say Dr. Fountain needs to be much more effective as the opposition leader. Matt, he should have gotten to the nitty-gritty. The $12 and the NAP going to get more. When you give a breakdown, because Dr. Fountain is good at figures, that's his expertise. Isn't that so, Matt?
Yep.
That's his forte. That's where he's strong. So when we save, based on all the parliamentarians we have there and the permanent secretaries and all of that, what we would have done is to cut down on that A, B, and C, and look the amount of money we are paying now, look the amount we're going to save, so it would be easy to utilize the monies we are saving in A, B, and C, and then give civil servants the raise we are promising, because that's how we are going to do it, and the NEP workers, look, it's not going to be you cutting grass and all of these things there. Look, it's there we're going to do. We're going to build factories. We're going to create a marijuana industry.
Actually, Blessings, a good time you say. He of course mentioned that, but I'm just taking it a piece at a time. He did mention the NEP and getting them, more productive and getting them in things that, would improve their skills. He spoke about that as well. It was a 2-hour meeting, so it's a piece. Yes.
I am saying, Matt, that is I am saying he should elaborate to say how we are going to do it. I heard him when he spoke about the NEP and what they're going to do and all of that. But I'm saying, based on the waste he is talking about, he should have further strengthened his utterances or his hand by saying, look, that is the amount of money we are going to save based on all that wastage we have. It is how much millions of dollars or $1 billion wastage, and when we cut down on that and look is the money we're going to save, so we can facilitate NEP, give the public servants a raise, agricultural, and he should give more a breakdown. That is what I'm saying. And quickly, Matt, if you wake up every day you're unemployed or you're underemployed, and you're viewing videos of people eating caviar, grapes, champagne, turkey, and they're living in mansions, Matt, can you convince yourself physically and psychologically that you are part of that, Matt?
No.
Matt, why should labor rights be leave if there is labor? They are enjoying the lavishness of Skerritt and his wife and the other ministers and the passport wheelers and dealers, Matt. Matt, if you and I are friends, and every Christmas, or maybe on your birthday, or they call birthday, we say Earth Day, you invite me to your home. Every now and then you'll buy me something, or you'll give me something while you figure out, I buy so much shoes, I have a couple shoes that let me give blessings. Matt, would you want to live your life, the rest of your life like that? You have your wife, your children, and yourself, your pride, your dignity. Would you want to live your life like that, Matt?
No.
You have to work hard for what you want, Matt, all your needs and all of that. You cannot live your life convincing yourself you is labor. So what labor have? Although I don't see labor, I see the Dominican Liberal Party, not the Dominican Labour Party. What Skerritt have, predominantly Skerritt? You are a part of it. You're gaslighting your own self, and they are gaslighting you by making you to believe workers don't have money, it's labor that have money, but you don't have money. You don't have job, you don't have food, you don't have homes. He used your passport money, put you in apartments with your passport money, he built it, poorly constructed, and telling you it is not yours, it is 100% his own. And you telling me you're supporting a man because he's been so obviously brutal and ruthless and criminally minded to you, using your resources to enslave you, and what he have achieved. You are a part of the achievement. Wouldn't you describe people like that? No, I don't want to say that part. I don't want to describe them. I'm just saying it is not wise to be in that predicament, to be in that difficult position, to convince yourself what your friend have, you are a part of it, because a lot of rich and famous people, Matt, do you know they don't go buying expensive things for the children? They teach them how to do business. They teach them how to work. They teach them how to create wealth, to maintain the generational wealth. They don't go buy them expensive car for them to go and race and kill themselves. They take them, they put them into the business, they introduce them into work. So to think, well, what Skerrit is doing, abusing the resources of the state, you are enjoying it. Every election campaign, what they did in that place down there, and they give you rum, they give you music, and they give you things, and that's how you want to live the rest of your life? You know, you're in Johnson Fountain, you're not here in Lennox, you're not here in all great ideas, you're not contrasting and comparing Barbados, Trinidad, Antigua, St. Lucia, how they were past Dominica. Matt, remind them once we were ahead of many of the countries I am talking about. We were ahead of them 40, 50 years ago. Scary, take us back 50 years. And all you there celebrating a man that is all you enslavers, all you abusers. Have a blessed day, sir.
Hey, blessings. I forgot to tell you, just give me a call. Give me a call. I have a message to deliver for you, so let me know when you'll be available, okay? If you're coming down to town, check me out, okay? Food to hide for a man to buy. Give me a private call, okay, blessings? Give me a call. Food to hide for a man to buy. And I'm hungering. I'm suffering. Establishment all gone to hell, gone to hell, gone to hell. Establishment all gone to hell. Controllers exploiting. Rich man greedy, he grab all, he grab all, he grab all. Rich man greedy, he grab all, and I'm hungry. Hello, talk to me. Yes, yes.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Matt. It's Arundel.
Hey, Arundel, how you doing? How you doing?
Yes, we like to settlement, man, for avoidance of doubt. You know, I just want to compliment the government for all these agricultural programs you're talking about. And your guest this morning was trying to elaborate on the excitement of the agricultural program you're trying to process. But you know, towards the end, I was really concerned when you said that the private sector must come on board with the wonderful programs that the government is trying to implement. And I said this government, their motto was, if it was in CBI, for 20 long years. So the programs are interesting, but they're coming very late. And they have disemboweled the private sector. I mean, the private sector is virtually on its knees. So when you have to pay $64,000 a month, $70,000 a month for a prime minister, that money could have easily gone into the agricultural program for farmers, feeder roads, and so on for a year. I'm not very good at math. That's a considerable sum of money going to one man plus his salary. Plus every time he travels, he gets a per diem $400 US. Could that money have gone into programs to develop agriculture without having to burden a private sector which this government has disemboweled? I mean, you know for a fact, if you talk to the private businesses, they'll tell you it's tough. They have to pay high taxes, like port duties and fees, and they're struggling to keep their employees, to pay their employees, to pay social security. And you're coming on a program where government has billions of dollars and CBI money somewhere government controlled by somebody, and you're telling the private sector, after this government of Roosevelt Skerrit has disemboweled. I use disemboweled because the private sector has no more strength, no more power, because Roosevelt has taken over every single private sector operation. Then you're not employing your people to build social security. You have Chinese working on the major projects, the airport, which should have been built by Dominicans. They have the schools, the Goodwill School should have been built by Dominicans. The other schools, grammar schools, should have been built by Dominicans, where you have money circulating in the country. And the private sector will benefit. They will buy, they will sell more. Social security will do well. And this government people agents are coming here and again trying to impose another burden on the private sector. There is sufficient money, $64,000, $70,000 a month. Tell them, the government, to stop paying for Roosevelt's house. They just increase their salary. The cabinet size is too large. All that money could go into developing agricultural programs. Stop burdening and hurting a private sector that you have already destroyed. That is what I'm saying. So the programs are fine, but they're too late. And the feeder roads, they could have built feeder roads. They should have built feeder roads. When the Salisbury people demonstrated, protested to build the Cahom Road, the feeder roads, all the roads up in Salisbury, Marigot, with people, farmers, over and over again, begging and pleading in Calibishi, all over for the feeder roads. What's the use or relevance of a program if you cannot put real infrastructure in place? And the government, in my view, has sufficient money available to it. Stop wasting money on Roosevelt, paying monthly salary. Stop wasting money on 18 cabinet, member cabinet. And all these other things, all these grand rallies and dancing on stage and wasting money on red flags. Could all of considerable sum of that money go into advancing agriculture in Dominica? So when these agents come and they try to burden the private sector, it makes me angry because Roosevelt Skerrit has hurt the private sector. He has bled the private sector. He has drained them. They haven't got resources. They're struggling. So that's what I want to say this morning. Stop it. Use the money that is available. Put the money. Private sector have nothing to do with that. There's enough private sector money in the CBI to do that. Thank you very much, Matt, for the opportunity.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you as always. Thank you very much. Let's see if we can take a few more voice notes before we wrap down. And with, of course, a call from Bujo Banton this one that's been trending this weekend. Let's listen to this one. Most of them children live in their own bedroom. Are you there? Okay, children. Something going on.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning to all conscientious Dominican.
Good morning to you.
Matt, since at the age of 6 years, I know people traveling to the Caribbean, Guadeloupe, to seek medical attention. And now I am in the 60 plus. What's going on? Dr. Fontaine, you have said it right. We need to cut back on costs and all that unnecessary spending for Dominican to have a good life. What a shame on the Skerrit Cabal administration. It's time for you to go.
All right, thank you. All right, let's do this. And of course, come back this up.
Dominican spread to go to the
Esau Trading Limited.
I've been listening to the program. I've decided really not to call these programs anymore because of the bullshit that keep going on. Yes, you have people that's crying for the private sector. The private sector have big businessmen, big capable people in it that can actually stand up. But they're all silent because they're scared of what? You can't lose what you don't have. So if the government fit is on your neck, you stand up regardless you are a supporter of the Labour Party or not. You stand up for what is right and what is just. They have all lost their morals, or some of them get a little something under the table, so therefore they sacrifice the rest of the country for that. This is crazy, so stop crying for the private sector. Let them come out there and show their faces. Let them do what it is and stand up and protest for what is just and what is right. That's how I look at it. Anyway, I'm listening.
All right, brother, keep listening. Somebody says, "Man, I think you need to get back to the limited amount of time for some callers to make their point. Some people get talk to you too long and still get so many times to call, whereas others don't, who might just be trying to call." I'm just trying to make that point. I guess I'm trying, but I can't get through the line. I'm concerned there. All right, somebody's trying to make down break down some figures here. Let's go back to that. Let me break it down for you a little smaller figure that the common man would understand. 64,000 divided by 4.3 is $14,780 per week. 64,000 divided 30 equal $2,133 per day. Now, Matt, I wonder how many people in Dominica get a salary of $2,000 per month. When Scary's rent cost the Treasury of Dominica $2,133.33 a day. Oh my God, this man has no conscience, huh? Somebody's basically saying so. Scarrett, she's divided that into, I wonder how many people in Dominica get a salary of $2,000 per month. When Scarrett gets rent, the Treasury of Dominica $2,000 a day. Oh God, this is just too much. Well, Dominicans need to start understanding what's really going on. Hello, yes. Are you there, Quinn? Call up. I suspect you're not paying attention. So let's wrap it up here this morning with a message from Bujo Banton calling out Caribbean politics. We don't have leaders, Bujo Banton says this morning there. I think that has been trending a few days back. Bujo Banton, the reggae superstar, calling out on Caribbean politicians. He says we don't have leaders. Let's listen to Bujo Banton. We'll come back at the 1 o'clock hour for more. Stick around, Dominica. Bujo Banton.
2-3 and carry.
Bujo, hold on there, fine. Hold on. Let's go.
All leaders, some guys when almost 100 years old, due to relinquish for some younger youth and can assume the role of leadership, expound and their vision. Now you have some guys in the Caribbean right now because they don't want to relinquish power. They rather kill the whole generation of youths. It's a lot of our politicians need to go. They need to leave. They're all redundant. Your thought process is latent. They need to go. We don't have leadership. We have thugs, we have gangsters, we have thieves, we have manipulators, we have people who just speak the truth and send them government force and them government badness to come bad you up and destroy and kill. We want leaders. We want back leaders, lead the people. These are going to lead and lead out.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Caribbean Spot. In today's video,
right now, a monumental shift in terms of the diversity and the convergence of Africa, global power, inspired by a great leader. We've never seen a leader like this in all our lives. We have had leaders who come up and before you know they say one thing and as they assume the reign of power, they do a different thing. We have leaders who are so barred out and so compromised that they can't even lead themselves. We are in this iration. We are alive to see a young man from the continent of Africa, expounding on all the tenets of the great Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and all these great stalwarts and culture, and these great men sung about the liberation of the continent. The continent is the breadbasket of the world. It has become the footmat of the globe. How could the breadbasket of the world become the footmat of the world? How could the person in the nation, the continent, who feed the world become global beggars? They have reversed the role and turned us into peons and serve under diplomatic agreements and agendas. But he was a young man who saw right through the smoke screen, saw right through all of that, and decided that he's going to put not only his life, but his knowledge, everything in whole self on the line for us. Let us come together. There's no greater time to be alive than now. Remember, I tell you, because we are witnessing something that our forefathers and our ancestors dream about. We have seen Rastas now galvanize around this common factor. Because Rastas will get soft in the island dark, them grounds out. Yes. Because you know, Rome come and tell you and I say Rasta went to Rome against it, and I know that Rasta is no longer Rasta, Rasta turned pussy. But true Rastas are still around. They're not money hungry, they're not money hungry dreadlocks, and you place up them ears and go and eat a bunch of blood clot flesh out there. Good Rastas still around. Firm same way, lions. We eat your life, we still around. And we love still good, we love still strong. Reaching out to the people of the world. It's a great morning to be alive, I just say. Yeah, enough love, you know? Give a great joy to see a voice speaking from the continent we have never heard before. We have some old leaders, some guys when almost 100 years old, due to relinquish us to the younger youth and can assume the role of leadership, expound and their vision of what leadership look like for the younger youths. Then we're not having that. We have some guys in the Caribbean right now because they don't want to relinquish power. They rather kill the whole generation of youths. They cannot kill out the youths because you have no plan for them. You have no infrastructure for them. Murder become your next best bet for the youth. It cannot work like that. A lot of our politicians need to go. They need to leave. They're all redundant. Their thought process is latent. They need to go and allow some young men who are not compromised, who see the interests of our nation, and the interests of the youth, and the interests of the people, and the interests of the whole ecosystem of the whole Caribbean community. As a grand prize, who should all unite to build and grow. What we have now is mayhem and madness and chaos. But chaos with chaos because our leaders are chaotic, right? We'll just examine the example that we see in our time. This is a true leader. In my time, this is the only leader I resonate with. I've never seen another leader. This young man, you try to typecast as all these kind of things, is leading his people to a renaissance that Africa has never experienced. Fight if you may, argue if you may, but this is what we need. We need people to live in our nations, in our regions. We need leadership as well. We don't have leadership. We have thugs, we have gangsters, we have thieves, we have manipulators, we have people who just speak the truth and send them government force and them government badness to come bad you up and destroy and kill. So what that does, it drives fear into the heart of the people. Like in my country, Jamaica. I have never seen this Jamaica before. My Jamaica has become so passive. I don't know if it's something in the water. I don't know if they have done my people something. We don't stand up for anything anymore. Everything is a 9-day talk and it's okay. Because they have spent their years making examples of ordinary Jamaicans, of real Jamaicans, refuse to be made an example of. But like I said, if them silence 1 me 1,000 speak, if them kill 1 me 1,000,000 rise. Once you're fighting for the right thing, and we're trying to open the eyes of our people, because you can't tell the level of poverty that exists in the region because the near. Because if you check most of them youths who are going in criminality, what? There's no opportunity. Check them background. They're going to good school, good education. But where do they place this energy and this effort? The music industry full. Everybody can be a singer and a DJ. So how do we? You have shut down our trade school. We have a plumber and make. What are we doing? We want leaders. We want back leaders to lead the people. These are going to lead and lead out. And out.
No
Q
filter.
95. Ride the storms. Ride
The Storms. Q95.
All right. Country buffet. Right within. Now, who will tell me what I want? I hear them say everything. Name your price if the bargain is right. Oh, yeah. Connections. You cannot anything that you like. Oh, yeah. You cannot anything if you wanna sell out, sell out. Oh Lord, yeah. Look how they must sell out, sell out. Jamaica, sell out. Oh yeah. It's more than a song stars. Sell out. Look there. Down now, you may think it's a joke. I see no reason to laugh. They be making promises, but all they're doing is soft. With the right connections, you cannot anything. Everyone that sell out. Oh Lord. They're gonna sell out, sell out. Oh yeah. Turn your backs on your necks off. In moments of need, Lord, you put your personal favor and your economic greed before the needs of the nation that you are placed to serve and uphold.
You can sit there from, of course, superstar, reggae superstar, Bucho Banton, saying we need a new brand of Caribbean leaders.
Now, Bonnie, tell me what I want. How you make it everything. Name your price if the margin is right. With the right connections, you cannot anything that you like. What did I say? You cannot anything if you want to sell out. Oh, child, look there. Look how they must sell out. Oh, child. All they do is sell out. I would just like to know. I would like to know. Why you call that beautiful Jamaica? No. Country for sale.
Country for sale.
Now they tell me what I want. How to make them say that.
Month to the first week in July, all roads lead to Scott's Hand for the Grand Kashako Reunion Festival, beginning Friday, June 27th with Sounds of Praise to the Most High, lively cultural performances, followed by Soir l'Histoire, a night of powerful, topical, juicy history with Dr. Lennox Hunter, followed by the Super Block of Finale. Saturday 20th, Sakis Abukabut in spectacular convo style, followed by Dr. Mika Lavadi and Dropping. Sunday 30th, church service, then village festival with the Unstoppable Person Serenade. Tuesday, July 1st, trip to Kalinago Territory. Wednesday, Wednesday, July 2nd, Domino and Big Money Bingo. Tuesday, July 3rd, Beach Party and Talent Night with special guest Franklin Moses. Friday, July 4th, Grand Dinner and Dance. Saturday, Fest, the highly anticipated return of Connect Online with Late Night Brooklyn. Sunday, July 6th, Super Blacko. Extra code coupon is only $3 for $10. Raffle to include a large screen, smart television, and multiple smartphone devices. Don't miss the Scott and Dasher Cool reunion. Good month into the first week of July. Sponsored by Belfast Estate, Couplet Bear, DNO, Q95, and Creole Heartbeats. Look at people.
Fluid Center shoppers, we have exciting news. Your favorite home improvement destination just got a major upgrade. Get ready to experience the all-new Do It Center online store. Fresh look, same great products, and super user-friendly. Find what you're looking for in a snap. Need assistance? We've got you covered. Connect with our live chat agents for real-time assistance. But that's not all. Introducing the convenience of seamless online payments with reliable delivery service straight to your door. Shopping for quality products has never been this easy. Don't miss out. Visit store.doitcenterdominica.com and experience the new era of our online shopping. Do It Center, your partner in home improvement.
And carry, cash and carry, and carry, cash and carry. Carry, we offer the finest selection of products that cater to your every need, from groceries to household essentials. Our shelves are stocked with quality items that are sure to impress. And guess what? We're not just great for wholesale. We're also your go-to place for all your food service needs. Located right opposite the Immigration Department on King George V Street in Roseville, we take pride in providing you with an unforgettable shopping experience. Our friendly staff is here to assist you in each and every step of the way. Ready to place an order or have a question? Call us at 316-0184 or 255-6823. And carry, cash and carry, and carry, cash and carry. We can't wait to see you.
ESA Trading Limited welcomes you to our cosmetics department for a wide range of body care and maintenance supplies, shampoo and conditioners for both natural and processed hair colors, hair oils, hair gels, and a wide variety of hair foods such as herbal, bergamot, carrot oil, olive oil, and more. Lavender scented essential oil for a full body massage, mosquito repellent sprays, itch stopping creams, and triple antibiotic ointment, dry mouth gel, a wide variety of toothpaste and mouthwash, rubs for aches and pains, including ice rub, Q-tips and cotton balls, baby care products, feminine care products, hand and feet care products, body lotions, deodorants, body sprays, perfumes, body mist, and much more, all at unbeatable prices. Check us out today at our location at the corner of Kennedy Avenue and Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard. ESA Trading Limited. We are making a difference for you.
Fresh Market Pharmacy has expanded to customers with its new additional location at Best Price. 2 convenient locations on the Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard and at Best Price Riverbank. Fresh Market Pharmacy provides over-the-counter medication, health and personal care, prescription drugs, and natural supplements. Our experienced pharmacists and technicians provide the best quality services. Call 225-6883, 255-6875. WhatsApp 316-0310. Your prescription bill just got lower.
Easy Rock 95.1. More rock, less talk while you work. The latest soft rock, hit after hit. Tune into Easy Rock 95.1, the best mid-morning show in the right here on Q95, the big station.
Attention all bakers and loyal customers of Ether Trading Limited. We've got a big news you won't want to miss. Ether Trading Limited is pleased to announce massive price reductions on your favorite Carigold brand flowers. That's right, prices like you've never seen before in Dominica. Now available at unbeatable prices. Carigold Baker's Flour, 25 pound, 50 pound and 100 pound bags. Carigold whole wheat flour, 25 pound, 50 pound and 100 pound bags. Carigold multigrain flour, 1 kg. Carigold rye flour, 1 kg. Carigold herb and garlic flour, 25 pound bags. Whether you're baking for business or just love fresh homemade goodness, now is the time to stock up. Visit us today at Caneville Industrial Estate or the corner of Kennedy Avenue and the Bayfront to place your orders and enjoy these incredible savings. At Ether Trading Limited, we're proud to deliver only the best for our valued customers because you deserve nothing less. Remember, at Ether Trading Limited, we are making a difference for you.
Oh, yeah. Woke up this morning,